What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rashad Buie back again. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button as I upload videos on a weekly basis covering the hottest topics in sports, especially if it's OU related. This is Ballin' with Buie. We got a little bit of change of scenery now. This is how I'm going to be providing you guys with content. It's not the best setup. Got a little things missing, got a couple things added in. Lighting's going to be different. Like I said, scenery is going to be different, but the content is still going to be the same, so that's all that matters. So this is how we're rolling. It's going to be how we're rolling for a while now. Don't know how long, but this is how it's going to be. Anyways, today I want to talk about an absolute great card, UFC 261, that happened this past Saturday. If you missed out, that's unfortunate because it was probably the greatest card I have seen yet. So let's jump right in. The first fight of the night was a lightweight bout. It was between number 6 contender Anthony Smith and number 13 contender Jim Crute. I thought that Crute was gonna get it done. He was rolling in 12-1. He was the favorite going into the fight, but Smith ended up getting the victory by a first round TKO. The doctor had to step in during that fight, and because Crute could not walk, Crute was pretty upset that the doctor called the fight. Even though, he clearly couldn't walk. I don't know what happened. People were saying that he had maybe some nerve damage when he got a shot kind of right behind the knee. Smith landed a leg kick kind of right behind his knee, and they thought that maybe a nerve got shot because nothing appeared broken whatsoever, because it was his ankle that kept rolling. He just couldn't walk. He couldn't put any support on that foot. And anytime he would step, his ankle would just roll repeatedly. And when he did get kicked, his foot kind of locked up, kind of like it does when you get a cramp. You can't use it. It locked up. So yeah, I haven't heard any reports on exactly what happened to him, but the doctor had to step in, and Smith ended up getting first round TKO. Obviously, it's not the way you want to win. He did cause the injury with that kick, but still. You want to get a finish, or you want to get a decision. You don't want the doctor to have to call the fight for you. But anyways, Crute drops to 12-2 in his UFC career. Anthony Smith ends up improving his record to 35-16. Second fight of the night, middleweight bout between number 9 contender Uriah Hall and number 11 contender Chris Weidman. This fight, I thought that Hall was going to get it done, and that's exactly what happened, but it did not happen the way that you want it to happen. Once again, if you are a fighter, this was one of the nastiest injuries probably that I've ever seen. It's definitely up there. But anyways, Hall ends up getting the victory by a TKO in the first round, just like the previous fight. But this was about 17 seconds in, somewhere in there, 20 seconds, I'm not exactly sure. But it was at the very beginning of the fight. Chris Weidman throws a leg kick, and Hall checks it. Weidman lands it right around the calf region with his shin, and then he breaks his leg with that kick. It was the first kick thrown of the match, and he kicks him, and you can see his leg automatically just kind of go limp and frail, and you could tell that something was wrong. And then after he kicks him, they show an instant replay, he swings his leg back and goes to step, and he just steps on his leg, just kind of bends when he steps. It looked like there was absolutely no bone there. It just looked like straight meat just bending. It was pretty gruesome. If you haven't seen it and you can stomach stuff like that, I would go watch it. It's pretty sick, but it was a pretty horrific injury, kind of like the fight he was in several years ago against, I believe, Anderson Silva, where he broke his leg. But anyways, Hall gets TKO win. Obviously, once again, that's not how you want to win. But the first two fights ended by a first round TKO due to injuries. I haven't seen that before, not two fights like that back to back, especially with a gruesome injury like that. But anyways, third fight of the night was a championship bout in the flyweight division, the women's flyweight division, between Shevchenko and number 1 contender Jessica Andrade. I thought Shevchenko was going to get it done, and that's exactly what she did, because she absolutely dominated. The first round, I had Shevchenko winning because she had 5 takedowns in the first round alone. She completely dominated Jessica Andrade, could not do anything. And then rolling into the second round, it was the same story. Valentina ended up winning by TKO in the second round. She got Andrade in a crucifix and just started wailing on her, and the ref had to step in and call it. That was Shevchenko's probably most dominant win on the ground, I would say. She tied the flyweight record for takedowns in a fight. She had 7, 5 in that first round, 2 in the second round. I don't really know who's going to challenge Shevchenko. She called out just about everyone. She said, "Bring it on. I don't care who it is." She said there's no one that can beat her. So we'll see who thinks they can step in and take that belt. I thought Jessica Andrade was going to be able to challenge her a little bit more than she did. I mean, she didn't challenge her at all. I thought she was going to be able to challenge her, but she did not. Shevchenko absolutely dominated her. So we'll see where Shevchenko goes from here. There's no telling. She might step and try to take a belt from another division. Who knows? Rolling to the co-main event, which the co-main and the main event were the best fights of the night by far. That doesn't take away anything from the rest of the fights. They were good, especially that other title fight. But the co-main and the main were very good fights. It's champion Weili versus Namajunas, number 1 contender Rose Namajunas. I had Rose pulling off the upset. I thought Rose was a very good fighter. Rolling into this fight, I felt very confident about that pick also. And guess what happened? First round knockout by Thug Rose. She absolutely, I don't even know what to say. She landed a leg kick from Weili to the head, and it didn't quite knock her out, but she fell, and you could tell that she wasn't as responsive as she should have been, and Rose jumped on her and landed a couple more shots, 3 or 4 more shots, and she was out cold. Not out cold, but she was out. And Weili was pretty pissed that the ref stopped the fight, even though she was out. Like, she wasn't swinging back, she wasn't trying to defend herself, she was just laying there getting wailed on. But anyways, Rose Namajunas is now the women's strawweight champion. I am so glad that she won. I'm so glad that she got the knockout. I kind of think Weili was being a sore loser. She didn't really congratulate her or anything, or speak to her much. Not that the camera shown anyways. But yeah, we'll see if there's a rematch. But shout out to Rose Namajunas for being the new champion of the world. Rolling to the main event, champion Kamaru Usman taking on number 4 contender Jorge Masvidal. Once again, this is a rematch. Usman won the first match because Masvidal stepped in, so now Masvidal had time to prepare for this fight. Usman won the first round. In my opinion, he dominated. He had a takedown, and then he landed several solid shots. Masvidal didn't really have an answer for him in that first round. And then we roll on into that second round, and Usman dropped Masvidal to knock him out with the KO. He landed, I can't remember if I think he fainted with the left and then threw a right and knocked him out. I mean, it was cold. And that gives Usman the second longest winning streak in UFC history with 14, record of 16. That is the first time that Masvidal has been knocked out in his career. I mean, he's had 50 plus fights, and that's the first time he's been knocked out. That's, I mean, pretty good odds. If you're Masvidal, you only get knocked out every 50-ish fights, and Usman's the one that did it. And in my opinion, Kamaru Usman, probably pound for pound greatest fighter in the world. I don't think anyone is better. Khabib's retired. John Jones, we haven't seen him in a long time, so I mean, you can't even consider him the best pound for pound fighter right now because we don't even know what he looks like. Adesanya, I mean, he's still up there even though he lost in another division. He's still by far the best fighter in his division, and I'm sure he's going to try to get another belt sooner or later. Now, I don't know who Kamaru Usman's going to fight now. Maybe Colby Covington. Colby Covington is talking smack like always. That's what he does, and that was Kamaru Usman's closest fight to this date is Colby Covington. But Usman is a much better fighter. He's getting stronger. He's getting better, which is a scary sight for anyone who wants to step into that octagon with him. So we'll see where Usman goes from here. I hope it is Colby Covington, so we can see him whoop up on him too. But I haven't heard anything about who he could potentially be fighting yet. We just have to wait and see like always. I'll catch y'all then. Deuces.